Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's daily brief recap. Um, it is Monday. I think we did about 2.5 hour daily brief or broiler chickens yesterday. So I don't think we need to go into too much detail. And of course, we do the daily brief on the site. That was about an hour and a half this morning. We had Sjord on the call today, TRICTO, talking about hackathons and, of course, getting the site up and running and functional. And actually, the developer team here at TRI is actually redoing this whole dashboard system, so might be a little bit easier, more flexible to use going forward. So we'll see how that goes. But we are still planning on big screener rollouts. And I would like to get this subscription model up and running here through the year. So we'll see how that goes. Tradable information itself, I think so. I like to follow things like breadth, and I just look at the crypto market. I think our breadth indicator actually went and put in an M top there. Well, I guess what is that? Right on my birthday. How ironic, right? Remember I always say, crypto does not like my birthday. And look at that, a goddamn M top, double top failure through the moving average right on my birthday. Jerks. And then if we want to sort of zoom in and really look at what is actually driving these issues right through here, this is the bullish percentage, or the percentage of the issues inside itself, moving higher or lower. And you can see again that M top below the moving average. This is a bearish market state. So. And that won't turn until we start Wing out on this bullish percentage and get back above the moving average, which you can see. This might take a while to play out, folks. So I've been pretty cautionary of late. I mean, hell, I took 6 figures out of the market here recently. So if anything, I'm more than happy just to sort of cool our jets. And also, too, I'm very, very disappointed in these central planners of our society and how they really have completely lost control. Or that was the whole point of this exercise to begin with. And the perception of loss of control was actually exactly what they wanted, to be able to justify the financial rape of the Western society, which I think they've gotten away with. It's done. There's nothing anybody can do about it now. It might be interesting to see a year or two down the road whether the right wing can take back um, a little bit of fiscal responsibility in our society, specifically within the United States. But here, like even in my country, in Canada, there's no fiscal responsibility. It makes no sense what the hell's going on here economically. I mean, no economic sense whatsoever in my eyes. And it's just we're in this weird sort of transition crisis period where I don't know, up is down, down is up. Remember guys on bar stools? I wonder if guys on bar stools are still making any money in trading stocks these days. I doubt it, but maybe. And unfortunately, all the people that came in and chased crypto up top here, oh man, they're dying 1,000 deaths here. So I sure hope you're not one of them. And of course, we just started up a new school term. So we're trying to school people up on how to just sort of behave responsibly in the market. So hopefully we'll do a good job with that. As we're sort of going through this really weird sort of seasonal top, it's a tax deadline in the States today. And I did hear a lot of people sort of humming and hawing about the fact of that tax deadline and the weird date of it here this year and why the market's acting the way that it is. I would imagine a lot of people that have a tax bill and they happen to have bought some of the Bitcoin down maybe even below $10,000 are probably like, maybe let it go. And we'll use that money to pay the tax bill. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Also, too, on the site, of course, we're, There's lots of these conspiracy people. There's one guy, Zero Hedge guy, saying that basically the United States is moving towards full socialism, and they're just going to hand out free money to everybody. Um, I don't know whether that's actually the case, or you're going to find out after the fact. Well, it turns out no, there has been no new money printing, whatever. But it is definitely a tell of the environment that we're in right now. That total lack of confidence in the system. Probably a lack of confidence in all these baby boomer politicians that really they're kind of half dead. And we can't seem to break this model of moving into the next generation of leaders. So the guy that's in charge of the United States right now, geez, you listen to him, and he ain't very far from the grave, that's for sure. Um, and the socialist rhetoric is just stunning. The irony of it all is that the bankers, they always say, yeah, give me control of the country's money supply, and I don't care whether it's a socialist or a fascist in charge. It doesn't make any difference. I run the show. I think that's exactly what's going on in our society right now. And if anything, to pull off the Joey Diamond con, they kind of need a skeleton from a bygone era in power. It's sort of like in Germany, when Hitler tried to take over the first go round, he had, I think it was Hindenburg, as sort of his prop puppet. Well, the German people like Hindenburg. He's a history, German war veteran from the Bismarck days and all that kind of stuff. And so he's our justification for just turning the whole damn country on its head. Um, is Mr. How ironic, Hindenburg, right? Is Mr. Biden the Hindenburg of the United States? Maybe. Oh goodness. So I'm not really seeing any new trends. Sure, seeing a lot of sort of conflicting back and forth. The one part of the market that's actually catching a half decent bit, of course, is the gold market. And actually, we kind of were conjecturing about how was the gold market going to act when it got up against its trend line here. You can see my sort of anticipation was that it was going to bounce and then run into problems here at the midpoint of this channel and then fail. Sorry, Brian. You, my friend, are wrong. So this is interesting too, though, because Kevin, and I can't remember what the study is, but it suggested that gold was going to sort of keep sort of relatively firm and then roll over down the road, but just a little bit further along. Maybe I'll get him to come on tomorrow because Tuesdays we have our TRISOF club meeting. Actually, maybe we'll do it Wednesday, and he usually comes on the daily brief on Wednesdays and does a summary of that club meeting. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that there. And actually, interestingly enough, I have a bunch of junior gold stocks on. Don't really have too many seniors. I was bidding on one senior, and trade basically just slipped through my fingers. So that's the way it goes. And now actually I'm starting to see some really interesting setups coming in the silver space. So here's all my sort of junior gold stocks that interest me. A fair amount of green on the screen here. That's not bad. But where's the senior gold stocks? Here we are. The Agnico Eagle, which is the one I wanted to get in. Look at that, eh? Oh, what a bastard. Shit. Brian. Yeah, pulled the bid. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Probably should have just left that order working. But interesting to see how the silver stocks are really coming together. And this first Majestic, I think it is, yeah. I traded this one back. I think it was through here. Where did I do that? Yeah, right here. I made some great money on this. Great money. Just bang, 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 bang. Worked its way back down here to the 50% roll of this range, and lo and behold, look what's going on down here. Did leave a gap, so I don't really want to chase. In fact, actually 2 gaps. Boom, boom. You can see gaps and then eventually rolls over, comes right back down to the lows, fills in all the gaps. Right? Gaps, rolls over, fills in the gaps. So I don't know whether I really want to chase this, but definitely threw in bids to buy the double bottom breakout level and to buy some call options if we get a pullback to fill these gaps. So silver's starting to look attractive again too. So the metals, it seems to be, this is pretty hot part of the market. I suppose if we think like risk on, risk off, poor old Bitcoin. I warned you people, and that's half my problem is I try to get people. In fact, it was so funny. I don't know whether it was, I think it was a stock. We were looking at some of the crypto stocks, and I was going, I try to get you guys not to chase. Try to get you guys not to buy these up markets, right? Don't chase. And it's so funny because I had this right on the screen. I can't remember where it was. And I didn't even realize it was on the screen, but I had written this on the screen like months ago. Don't chase. And this is the end result. So somebody go back and look and find that video when I did publish this, probably when it was going nuts like this. And I'm like, God's sakes, don't buy this here. Please don't do it. Don't do it. And this is why, right? There's the other side of that move. Yuck. The good part about it now, actually, is that probably a lot of the risk in this asset coming in here, it's actually been removed. So I don't know whether we're going to hold against these lows. Considering the temperament in crypto right now, I doubt it. That Mr. Musk, he really did not do the crypto space any favors whatsoever here recently. It was almost like, to be perfectly honest with you, it really felt like he was directed towards, and we kind of joked in the the private video on the site. It almost felt like somebody said, we'll give you the NASA contract for your space program stuff, but your number one job, kind of like, remember Tony Montana and Scarface? That's sort of how I feel. Like, if anybody knows that movie, the 1% basically said to him, look, we got to have this person removed. And I get the distinct impression that the 1% went to Musk and said, look, you want this big fat NASA contract? Hey, your job is you have to get in the way and just be a total disruptive influence in this cryptocurrency space. And I think that's exactly what he did. And unfortunately, a lot of kids are going to get really, really hurt from chasing things like that Doge and chasing all these stocks through that silly Coinbase fluff pump. And they're going to be resentful. They're probably, if they have any money, they're going to call lawyers. Lawyers are going to start filing lawsuits, and all hell could break loose in this space now. Thanks, Elon. Love you, babe. La 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 la. Diamond hands. Total nonsense. Yeah, that is what it is. So, believe it or not, I actually don't mind the prospects for the gold market, especially with the way the goddamn printing presses are going here. That the baby boomers have just completely sold out our society, sold out, the United States of America. I mean, you American citizens, you should be so angry at this baby boomer generation. It got handed a country of immense power, immense renown. And by the end of this generation, that is going to be a memory. I don't even know whether the United States of America itself can make it through this. They may not. I joked years ago. I said that, it was my perception that the USSR had to be dissolved through that last greed cycle apex 2000.com peak. And it would not surprise me by the end of this coming fear cycle that the United States of America, the other adversary in that Cold War, it had to be dissolved. And believe it or not, actually, that's actually not unrealistic here. It's quite shocking. I would have never believed it had you told me 10, 20 years ago. Look at the United States, they're going to dismantle this whole system and basically make the country worthless and the currency worthless and the military completely, inept. I'll tell you, that's the tell. When Joe Biden cannot pay the military salaries, then you know the actual time, the clock is ticking on the United States of America. So that's probably a really good tell. Just keep an eye on whether that military is still funded. I mean, this is shocking. This is getting into like serious, like change history kind of shit happening here. Anyway, party. Suppose that's half the reason why you bought your Bitcoin to begin with. And our silly, burr goes the printing press kind of world. Bitcoin's 40, even now, $40,000. I would say that a year ago, right, even about 1 year ago, the price was about 1/10 where we are now. So I think Mr. Wu and his sort of blockchain metrics kind of suggested that this isn't a terrible floor for us to be thinking about in the short term. And technically speaking, I kind of like that thinking, especially with the volume profile, the way that it looks here, and reload zones, mountain man, all that. And I don't think this story is over by a long shot. I still actually really do like the idea that this actually was a short-term sell signal. And if we think about things like, it always takes me forever to find this image, but just give me a second here. If we think about things like, this will take a half an hour to scroll through here. If we think about things like 4-year cycles and what we should expect through years that are part of this cycle, I actually do like the idea that the 1%, the banksters, the dickheads of the world, they're going to really try and get the public to actually balk on crypto here. I don't know how deep and how ugly this correction over the May-June period goes, but it could be pretty damn ugly. So just be forewarned, right? And of course, all the people that came in and bought like top of doges and stuff like that, they're really going to be tested here. So, I don't know what our fate is here for this year, similar 13, 17, 21. My hunch is it looks something like this by the end of this swing. But I actually do like the idea that you notice here in 2013, following the whole Silk Road initial disaster, the whole crypto market sort of just went on pause for like 6 months and then cleaned it itself up. And of course, internally, there were a whole bunch of really cool shit going on. Altcoins coming alive, and this was the original. Oh, what the hell was it? Actually, I hadn't heard this story in a while. But the guys who originally set up the mining rigs and stuff like that, they're the ones who really enjoyed this rally in here. And you could buy like shares in companies that were getting into the mining business, and they just went absolutely insane. So who's a good person to listen to about that is Novogratz. He knows the story really, really well. And this is like generations before Mr. Musk came into crypto. I mean, maybe he was involved in crypto before, but he always publicly, even through this period here, he publicly said, "Oh no, I don't own crypto. I'm not in crypto, whatever." So I actually find it a little bit of an insult to the cryptocurrency industry that Mr. Musk is getting as much attention right now as he is. Because he's not an authority in this space. He hasn't been around here since day one. I don't get it. Like I said, I think he was given a specific job. And I don't even know whether he did a good job or not. I think what he's done is he's really shot his wad with the crypto community. The crypto community now looks at him like this. Like he's a fucking idiot. So yeah, way to go, Mr. Musk. You just shot your wad. Hope it was good. As for sort of fundamentals, I've told you this before. I mean, the problem with crypto is that it can get bid up to just absolutely insane levels, but really, value in my eyes is the cost of production. It's a commodity. That's just the way this business goes. You won't see these levels again, though, until after the wipeout and the public is not interested in this shit anymore. And this is old news. And that's when you really should invest in this shit. You shouldn't invest in this shit when it's going fucking ape shit up like this. It's so amateur. It's so stupid. It's so, what the fuck are you doing? Why am I even wasting my time talking to you people? Exactly. Somebody just honked their horn. There's a fire truck. Now, man, one thing about this crazy COVID world is you constantly are seeing these fire trucks and ambulances and shit going by with all sirens full blaring and shit, and yet I haven't seen a fire around here in forever. I'm not quite sure what they get all excited about, but it speaks to the insanity of this silly world we're in right now. Anyway, holy wow, there's a tangent. Sure wasn't expecting to go down there today. Sorry about that, folks. So, any Bitcoin bottom here yet? No, not really. ABCDs, everything's business as usual. Coming into Willy Woo's sort of value level, coming into sort of big chunky areas in the profile that have seen previous buyers. So my hunch is we're probably close to some sort of pivot. And this kind of stuff, I mean, frankly speaking, I'd just leave it alone for now. There's a bit of red on the screen here, right? That's a bit of red. May, June, usually this is a correction time. I was actually pretty pleased with the community today. They actually were banging out doubles on a couple names. I think SOL is one that they were doing really well on. So congratulations, TRIers. I love hearing that these guys are killing it. That is interesting. Little names like Pivx. This is on my shitcoin 5,000 list. I tell you, man, there's tons of money to be made on a name like this. This thing used to be. I remember the guy, like this psycho right here. I had a guy who was in my school. Because he bought the. I think actually even bought the ICO paper, and even on this move here, from here to here, he cleared like I think he said 100 grand. Maybe not. I don't know. But I know maybe it was this move. I don't think so though. Actually, yeah. You know what? That might have been it. I think it was in here. Actually, ironically enough, you look at that Doge chart, very similar. But like you can go and buy Doge up at the top end of the range now. In fact, at new all-time highs, or you could take a look at something like this. I mean, 50%. I mean, I don't have to. Yesterday I was like, can anybody just attest to the fact that they bought a W and actually it worked? They made some pretty good money. I mean, here's another one. Can anybody attest to them buying an asset and using the 50% rule? I'm not looking for new all-time highs. I'm just looking for the market to take back half of its previous trading range. Not all of it, just half. What kind of rate of return are we talking on your money here? And this is what I don't get about our societies. Nobody seems to understand this. What is that? That's 3,400%, 3,600% return. People that came in on Doge down, remember our rule, buy Doge below 40 sats, right? And they're selling at 300 sats. So that's the same thing. Here, it's 11,000% return just on a move back to the 50% rule. Not even thinking about Lambos, moons, all that kind of stuff. Just very technically normal. Very like it would be abnormal if this didn't do that bounce. So go figure, right? In a day where coin's getting whacked, actually people are stepping in on this thing. Oh well. Okay, so rant. Don't expect a hell of a lot for the next month or two. Usually the market bottoms, usually about the middle to the end of June. And then we set up for the summer silly season. So build your shopping list. Get out there, wait for the reload zones, as this one's coming into a reload zone, and wait for momentum divergences. Then wait for W's, maybe even 3 lows, triple W's, right? Be a chicken shit like Brian. And then, yeah, start the whole game all over again. All right. Well, there's your market summary. Sure hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I am actually trying to buy a little bit of the silver stocks right now. So there is something that I am actually having people take a look at in earnest. As always, of course, I'm not shilling any one particular idea. You can buy whatever I buy. You could not. That's up to you. It makes no difference to me one way or the other. So I'm here to try and help you. Hopefully, something I said here over the past, 20 minutes, half hour, was of value. But if not, hopefully you got some edutainment out of this. Let's see. Can I tell you a funny knock knock joke? Knock knock. Who's there? Wannabe. Wannabe who? Oh, I want to be a good trader. Well, that's not very funny. All right, Kevin, if you could take us out of here, I'd appreciate it. All the best, and bye for now.